I go hard in the motherfucking paint, nigga. Then you stank it.
I think I'm looking forward to cracking up.
Bitch on them, baby. Brand new whip, got no keys. Tell them my clothes, no starch, please. Soon as I nut, you can come leave. Got M's in the bank, like yes, indeed. Me and my dog going off the way. When you living like this, they supposed to have. Brand new whip, got no keys. Tell them my clothes, no starch, please. Soon as I nut, you can come leave. Got M's in the bank, like yes, indeed. Me and my dog going off the way. When you living like this, they supposed to have.
I fly like paper, get high like planes. If you catch me at the border, I got visas in my name. If you come around here, I'll make them all day. I get one down in a second if you want. I fly like paper, get high like planes. If you catch me at the border, I got visas in my name. If you come around here, I'll make them all day. I get one down in a second if you want.
One beer turns into a lit cigarette, burning into a 2-beer buzz. 3 beers turns into 5, then 6, then a love drunk kiss in the back of that truck. Just like that, everything rearranges. Life changes out of the blues. Just a Bud Light, but ain't it funny what one beer can turn into?
Somewhere we live inside. they gon' trust me anyway. So whatever, I'll be up and away, cause in the end they'll trust me anyway. So whatever.
Oh, I can hear 'em playing. I can hear the ringing of a beatable guitar.
I'll be up and away, cause they gon' trust me anyway.
My favorite type of weed was cocaine.
Where is my mind? 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 Where is my mind?
So I miss him some nights when I'm feeling depressed. Till I remember every time he made a pass on my friend. Do I love him? Do I hate him? I guess it's up and down. If I had to choose, I would say it right now. I wanna get him back. Oh, I really just wanna make him feel bad. Oh, I wanna get him back. 'Cause I can't really miss him and it makes me real sad. Oh, I want sweet revenge. I want him again.
Release your inhibitions, feel the rain on your skin. No one else can feel it for you, only you can let it in. No one else can speak the words on your lips. Put yourself in words unspoken, live your life with us wide open. Today is way over begins, just still unwritten.
Oh, kiss me beneath the milky twilight. Lead me out on the moonlit floor. Lift your open hand, strike up the band, make the fireflies dance. Silver moon sparkling.
Except for that first night, the two kids under that moonlight. We ate McDonald's at midnight. We became the best of friends.
So kiss me.
I feel like a lot of entrepreneurs have it. That fact that you truly just feel different. It's not to be disrespectful towards anyone else, but it honestly feels like you have more inside you than other people have. Like you have that weird gift, that weird potential that you could say, hey, I can do something better than that person can. I don't deserve and I shouldn't be working in that 9-to-5 jobs. I have so much inside that I want to get out. I just don't know how to get it out. And I remember sitting on my college campus bench and the bell rang and every kid was going from class to class, class to class. And there were thousands of kids going from all these different classes. And I sat there on the bench and I just watched them. I sat there and I watched every single student go from different building. And I just thought to myself, when do we learn anything different? If I'm learning the same thing as 15,000 other kids, that means I'm going to have the same result as 15,000 kids.
Makes sense.
And every single kid I know who graduated college complained about their job, wasn't happy with their salary, worked a 9-to-5, had to pay off debt. The only way to truly be successful in life is at some point for you to do something different, for you to stand outside the crowd, for you to say, hey, I don't give a fuck what someone else thinks about me. I'm going to go ahead and do it just because I want to do it.
Yeah, drinking dope, turn me to a superhero, yeah, hit that pill, turn me to a superhero, yeah, boom my 90, turn me to a superhero, yeah, if your metro don't trust you, I'm gonna shoot you. I'm on that dope again, I'm on that flow again, switch up the flow again, yeah. Fly in the parachute, gripping that pole again, I'm on that all again, yeah. Candy in the cup, gotta get paid, king in the streets, young mage, spreading of the crowd, take to the grave. Ain't having problems, I'm sipping the bar. Shout out to Dallas, my is a star. Get rich, ready to take it to war. Piss on your casket, shoot at your bra.
Yes! Ladies and gentlemen, we are back. Happy Friday. Game plan is set, and I'm feeling great. I want today to be monumental. I want today for us to bring in the momentum. I want today to be the day that we leave this mark on this market. Quad witching hour, triple witching day. You guys don't know what that means, don't worry, I'm going to explain it all. But today is really one of those days that I'm going in with absolute full confidence. I feel like I might be able to close with my eyes closed today. I might be able to come out with profit by putting a blindfold over my eyes and still be able to come out green. That's how good I'm feeling. So, traders, we can make sure that we dive all in on this. Every single trader's coming out on top, and we are going to break this whole entire thing on down. Welcome back on this Friday. I hope everyone is doing so great. I hope everyone is having a fantastic morning already. Filling your bellies up with your Eggs Benedict on rye toast with, again, a little potatoes on the side, maybe a little bit of bacon. Grab a little maple syrup, throw it up in your hair, curl it on up like I do. Every morning, traders. It's a tradition. Let's talk about today. Happy Friday, traders. So, today's pretty straightforward, pretty simple. The idea of today is let's just make as much fucking money as we can, okay? So, what do we have here? S&P 500. The S&P 500 is starting to get a little weaker on this day. Now, you can head on over to CNBC.com. You can head on over and watch the morning squawk. There's not really much news of today. If we were saying to ourselves, hey, is there anything big going on? Not really. Says S&P 500 futures are a little changed. Wall Street looks to end the week on a high note. There's not any sort of big press releases, big economic data. There's nothing that's really happening at this time. Most traders are saying, oh, we're getting ready for next week. Next week, we do have the Federal Reserve speaking, where Jerome Powell is going to be coming on out in that fancy suit on Wednesday, and he's going to be stating, we are not going to be cutting rates. You can actually see right here that there's a 99% chance that the central bank will keep its interest rates unchanged. So, next week, team, we have the Federal Reserve meeting. Next Wednesday, we will see Jerome Powell speak. But with Jerome Powell speaking, we already kind of know what he's going to say, is that we are not going to be cutting rates whatsoever. We've talked about that the last few days. It's not like there's any sort of shock here. So let's see how the market is going to react. So right now, team, we really just want to figure out what's going to happen with this day and how can we come out profitable. So the S&P 500, this is the way I want you to do it. Go to the SPY, switch on over to a 60-minute time frame, click it into a bigger channel. This is what we have at this moment. The S&P 500 has been sitting inside of this channel for the last 2.5 months now. So if you guys are watching over on TikTok, you can see it right here. Let me actually grab this. I'll make this a little bit easier for you to be able to follow. You could see that we have been sitting in this channel, and all a channel is where we have our bottom support, where we bounce, and we have top resistance, where we hit and fall and hit and fall and hit and fall. Now, if you guys do follow me over on Twitter, or if you guys receive our morning newsletter, if you guys are a TradeCaster member, you guys will be able to see that I basically color-coded this to make it as easy as possible to be able to follow and to be able to read. Let me go ahead and post this right here so you guys can see it. So this is exactly what I'm referring to. This is exactly what I'm talking about right here. Look how great this is. Look how simple this is to follow. This is the 2024 bull trend, okay? We could see at the bottom, we have call contracts. At the top, we have put contracts. At the top, we have put. At the bottom, we have call. At the top, we have put. At the bottom, we have call. And at the bottom, we have call contracts. What you can see right here, it says watch for a crack. So I'm going to make this a little bit of a bigger screen so everyone can see it a little bit better for those that are watching over on YouTube and on TradeCaster. So you can see how great this channel has been. Let's read what we have stated for this channel. Okay? If you want to make money today, you will want to follow this plan. If you follow this plan right now that I'm about to tell you, you are going to have a 90% chance of making money today. So I would listen up if I were you. The SPY, which is a basket of the top 500 companies in the United States, has been bullish for all of 2024. There has been small pullbacks, but every single week of 2024 has been considered green. We could take a look over on the daily chart right here. switch this over to a weekly chart, and you guys will quickly see that every single week of 2024 has been green. Actually, there might have been one little tiny red week right here, but you can see this is the start. Green, 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 green. One little red week. Green, 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 green. You can see how we've been building higher lows, how we've been consistently moving on up for all of 2024. And the reason why we've been moving up in all of 2024 is because of this channel, and this channel consistently holding on up. So this is the current uptrend and the setup on the SPY. We can all clearly see how strong of this channel this is, which has now been holding for 2.5 months. Now is the time to trade because we are coming down to bottom support. So let's think about this, guys. Right now, coming on up is going to be the time to trade because you really do have two different options. Number one is that this trend line is going to crack. If this trend line cracks, what do you think is going to happen? We are going to get a massive sell-off. At this next bottom line, we could either see a strong bounce on up as we've seen multiple times in the past, or we could see a crack of this uptrend. And once this uptrend does crack, that's where I think we are going to have a massive red day. The reason why is every single good investor sees this channel. Traders, this is not like a channel that only I see. Hundreds, the thousands, the millions of other people see the same exact channel that I'm referring to right now. And what do you think that they are doing? They are placing stop losses underneath this support line. The moment that we crack this trend line, think about how many stop losses are going to be triggered. That's what's so big about this. So if we take a look over on the S&P 500, you guys can clearly see this channel that we have. Most likely, there is going to be a bounce. You can see bounce 1, bounce 2, bounce 3, bounce 4, bounce 5. We are coming up to the 6th bounce within this time period. You can also see where we have our top resistance area. But I'm going to draw out right now how traders usually trade these type of plays. Okay, so let's just keep it very small and very tight here. Okay, I'm just going to draw a little uptrend right here to give you guys an example. So this is the example. This is how traders usually trade. What we have is if you saw that we have a bounce play right here, and you see that we have a bounce play right here, and you see that we have a bounce right here, you see that we have a bounce right here, most traders are going to be looking for a bounce right here. They will be looking for that bounce. And there's great odds that's going to happen. Let's think about this, guys. Let's imagine if there was a soccer player, okay? And every time he shot a penalty kick, he made it. It went in here. It went in here. It went in here. He scored a goal here. What would you guys bet that he's going to do here? He's made the last 1, 2, 3, 4. He seems like he's automatic. If I was a betting man, I would probably bet that he's going to make the next one as well. But yes, at some point in his career, he's probably going to miss a kick. He's probably not going to get that goal. But the odds are that he will get it. He showed consistency. He showed through his past that he has the advantage to make this. He knows what he is doing. So when we take a look at these trend lines, traders, you must understand that there is going to be a ton of people looking to enter at this area. Now, for everyone who has already entered and notices this trend line, what do you think these people are doing? These people are saying, hey, I'm going to hold this trend line as long as the trend line continues to hold. But once that trend line cracks, I'm going to get out. So imagine if everyone just places stop losses right underneath the trend line. Places stop losses right underneath the trend line. It didn't hit there. It didn't hit there. But imagine if we have stop losses right underneath this trend line. And let's imagine here for a second that the S&P 500 comes on down and we do crack the trend line. What do you think is going to happen when the S&P 500 cracks the trend line? It is going to run into a massive bulk of stop losses. It's going to run into a massive area where people are going to be selling, and that is where we could lead towards an accelerated sell-off, where everyone's taking their profits, where everybody is getting out, where everybody is moving on, because they're saying to themselves, hey, this trend line has been holding for the past 2 months now. All right, I'm going to place my trend line, I'm going to place my stop loss right underneath this trend line. And as long as this trend line holds, I know that I'm good to go, right? I know that I'm good to go. I know that I'm solid here. So when I'm taking a look over on the S&P 500 and I'm saying to myself at this moment, all right, hey, the S&P 500 starting to come back on down. We will be looking for a dip buy starting on off, but if that stays underneath the trend line, that's where things get weaker. Now, Dek, what is the price point? Can you please let me know, like, what is the exact price point that we need to start dropping? All right, so let's just kind of connect this dot here. What is the exact price point? It seems like that, most people are going to start leaning towards a sell-off. We are getting very close. I would probably say underneath 512. So I'll drag this over so you guys can see over on TikTok as well. You guys can see right around 512-ish. Let me put this back on up. Gets a little jumpy here. And it seems like, yeah, right around that 512, sell-off, that's where things would start getting pretty ugly. So what would I like to see? I personally would like to see a bounce play off this area. It's more predictable. It's more easy to manage. We can expect a bounce here, we move on up. We can expect a bounce here, we move on up. We can expect a bounce here, a bounce here. There are going to be a lot of people right at the start of the day that are going to be looking for this bounce back above this purple line. If we cannot hold this bounce, if we cannot hold this area, then guess what, traders? I definitely think we could start selling pretty good. So please be aware, it's going to be tricky. There will be times that it looks like it's going to sell off and it doesn't, then it does for a moment, then pops back on up. Today is going to be tricky to see if we're actually going to get the sell-off that has been holding this trend line for the last 2.5 months. So it's not going to be easy to break and it's not going to be easy to stay above. On top of that, today, traders, we also do have a triple witching day. Some people might say it's a quadruple witching day, but we do have a triple witching day here. So let's go ahead and take a look at what this means. A quadruple witching day is the third Friday of March, June, September, and December. So what is this? Well, what this means is that we are going to be having an expiration of 4 different types of contracts. We have stock options, index futures, and index future options derivatives contracts. The 4th type is a contract involved in quadruple witching, which isn't used anymore since 2020, but we still keep the name of quadruple witching. So what we have today, traders, for those who do not know, this only happens once every quarter, 4 times a year, and this is when we have a quadruple witching day. This is when we have an expiration. Nearly all these contracts expire at the same time, which usually does lead to red as well. So we can actually go ahead, and if you don't want to type in quadruple witching, you can also talk about triple witching, right? So you could say, what is a triple witching day? Triple witching day. Triple witching refers to the 3rd Friday of March, June, September, and December. Remember, it happens 1 time a quarter, 4 times a year. And we can go over and see what this is. What is a triple witching and how can you be able to trade it? Remember, triple witching, same exact thing as we talked about before. It's when everything expires at the same exact time. So that's going to be very big and very important for us to be able to understand and be aware of that with these triple witching, with these quadruple witching points, it is going to be a time that a lot of people are going to lead towards selling. We can also see right here, option trades to exceed stocks for the first time since 2021 as $5 trillion come in on today through contracts. So much of the jump in single stock options trading was driven by contracts tied to semiconductor shares according to Goldman Sachs. Options tied more than $5 trillion in stocks exchange traded on funds and equity indexes are set to expire today on this Friday during the quarterly triple witching when a wealthier of monthly contracts are set to expire alongside index futures. So traders, as you guys can see, little picture of a witch. It is a triple or quadruple witching day, which definitely leads to a little bit more selling as all contracts are expiring on this Friday. So a lot of things to be aware about on this Friday. The most important things, as you guys can obviously get and as you guys can obviously understand, we do have our channel. If you guys want to see the full picture of my channel, either number 1, watch over on YouTube, watch over on TradeCaster.com, or head over to my Twitter over at Dekmar Trades so that you guys will be able to see all my alerts right here. You guys can scroll on through, click this picture, be able to see everything, and you guys will be all good, ready to go. Make sure you guys go retweet this picture so you guys go help each other. You can see watch for the crack. We're watching for that dump and watching for that next leg on down. It is going to be a very exciting day, I think, but it is going to be a little bit tricky. As I said, the most tricky thing about today is going to be actually figuring out which way is this market going to go. I will tell you though, today is going to be the best day for an entry. Now, that doesn't help too much if we don't know which way the market's going to go. Remember, we've talked about this a million times. The best days for an entry is either at the very tippity top, where we have all this room to fall, or at the very tippity bottom, where we have all this room to climb. The worst place to enter is when you are just buying somewhere right in the middle. But when we are at the top, we have all this room to fall. When we have, or at the bottom, we have all this room to spike, right? So the thing is, we are coming right now back on down to the bottom. Right now, we're actually right at 512. This would be the perfect dip buy opportunity if it bounces back on up. But this also would be the perfect put contract if it cracks on down. So today is the perfect entry area, but there's just no guarantee on saying which way we are going to go. We know that the last 5 times we have bounced off this area. We know over the last 2.5 months, this uptrend has held on up, but we also know that we had bad PPI data yesterday. We also know that today's a quadruple witching day. We also can see that we are starting to crack this uptrend, and if that trend line cracks, we could see an immense amount of selling starting on off in the next 9 minutes. I'm excited to see what's going to be happening on this day because we do have a lot happening. But it really comes on down to watching the S&P 500 and getting an entire game plan on the S&P 500. So right now, what I would like to do is actually set up a little bit of a poll. All right, so I want to go over right here to create a poll and say, will the SPY bounce today or crack today? So I want to see what you guys are thinking. So I'm going to say bounce, which means we are going green, or do you think it's going to crack and sell off, which means we are going to red? So if you guys are on TikTok right now, first things first, double tap that screen, show a little bit of love, hit the follow button, and type in the chat room, do you guys think we're going green, or do you guys think we're going red? If you guys are watching over on YouTube, smash that thumbs on up right now, hit that subscribe button if you guys haven't, but I also want you guys to type on out. Do you guys think we're going green or do you guys think we're going red? And everyone over on TradeCaster.com, you guys can go ahead and cast your vote right now, right above the live stream. Go vote and let's see what everyone is looking at over on TradeCaster to get ourselves an idea. So TikTok, type it out. YouTube, type it out. TradeCaster, go cast your vote. I don't even want to look at the results right now. I just want to get all set, ready to go. I'm going to give every single person a minute to go ahead and cast their vote. Type out what they think is going to happen so we can get an idea of what traders are thinking at this moment. So right now, traders, I am excited. I'm excited to see. Also, Brendan Moses says, Dek, do you trade any small caps anymore? Do you trade any penny stocks anymore? Do you get involved in any sort of penny stock plays? So I'm going to let you know something right here. Number one, it is Friday. Fridays is the worst day to trade penny stocks. Okay? So the reason why today is the worst day to trade penny stocks is because you have no news on Fridays. When you don't have any news and you have nothing coming through the news scanner here, you don't get a lot of hype. You don't get a lot of action. Without news, you don't get movement. Without movement, you don't get activity. Without activity, you aren't going to get those big time spikes and those next legs on up. You can also see out of our top gainers here, we don't have any play that is a low float stock. So I'm looking for stocks that are, underneath 10 million in float. We have 16 million float, 4 million in float. We do have 5 million float right here, JTAI, but there is no news on it, so it is just kind of fading right back on down. CDLX, 36 million float, 11 million float, 26 million float. These are all larger float stocks. The only low float stock that we have doesn't have any sort of news, but I will say there is one play I definitely think you should be aware of, VERB. VERB is a little too small for me. I'm not a trader who likes trading too often stocks that are underneath $1, but VERB is up 209%. VERB is currently sitting with 16 million in float. And let's just see, does this stock have any sort of news behind it over on VERB? So VERB, this play 54 minutes ago, did come out with a press release that stated that VERB launches Facebook and Instagram social shopping technology integration. So the thing is, team, saying this is kind of like a baloney press release, to be honest. It is. It's kind of, and also, hold on a second. Is the SPY starting to dump? Hold on here a second. SPY, guys. Whoa! SPY starting to sell off already. So traders, take a look right now. SPY also already starting to sell off as I'm speaking here. But, we're going to get to that in about the next 3 minutes. But why is this kind of like a little baloney press release? Because it says it launches a Facebook and Instagram social shopping technology integration. Traders, people see Facebook, people see Instagram and think like that's a partnership. Do you know how easy it is to get a social shopping technology integration? I mean, it's like an API. You could just go on Google and type in Facebook shopping API. You download it, you add it to your program. It's not like they've talked to Instagram or Facebook. You just get these APIs, you get these things right off Google. So this really isn't a big press release, but it looks like it's a big press release because we have a little penny stock and we have the words Facebook and Instagram in it. So I do like VERB. I like how it is moving. I like a stock that's up 210%, but usually on Fridays, penny stocks are either pump and dumps, or on top of that, they get, you got to look for a low float ripper and runner that has news, which is a little bit more rare. Most of these plays are just going to come crashing right back on down. And the thing is, team, when penny stocks are dead, where do you think all the action is? It's over on the S&P 500. All action is on the S&P 500 right now. All attention is on the S&P 500 right now. We are possibly cracking the 2024 record highs and cracking the 2024 uptrend, which we have done right now. We take a look over on that 60-minute time frame. We are underneath that trend line at this moment. And being underneath this trend line right here, traders, man, that's pretty crazy to think about. I would say the best entry at this point would be a spike back up towards, 512.10, 512.20, and looking for a put contract for this to hold up as resistance. So basically, as you guys can see, we bounced off this area, we bounced off this area, we bounced off this area. I would be looking to see if we can retest it, now turn this old support area into a resistance area. So that's what I want to be able to see. Right? I want to be able to see this, bounce on up, hit this as resistance, then again, turn back on down. That would be the goal. But traders, you can see that trend line is starting to crack. That trend line is starting to get weaker. Hey, as always, I just want to say thank you, TikTok. Thank you, YouTube, for joining us on this day here today. And I want to say happy Friday. If you guys want to see me live trade today, head on over to TradeCaster.com. You get a free 7-day pass. Click the link in my bio. Remember, that is TradeCaster.com. Come on over. We are about to trade live in this market. You don't want to miss it. You get a free pass anyway. So come on over, join the team, join the fun. And if not, then I'll see you guys over on Monday. And I wish you the best of luck today. But as always, thank you for joining us on this day. Let's get ready to crush it. TradeCaster members, you guys don't go anywhere. I'm just going to refresh the live stream, and it looks like we got a big day ahead. Let's get ready to have some fun. Thank you so much, everyone who joined us on TradeCaster TV. I'll see you guys on Monday.